All right, today we're going to be talking about changing forms of quadratics. First, we're going to talk about converting from vertex form to standard form. To do this, you multiply out the binomial that's squared, distribute if there is a term out front, then you combine like terms, and then you write it in standard form. So if we're in vertex form, we will be in this format right here, a times x minus h squared plus k. And when we finish, we're going to have ax squared plus bx plus c. So let's look at a couple of examples. Right here, we have x minus 1 squared plus 8. So the first thing we want to do is separate into where we're going to multiply the two binomials together. And when we do that, we get x squared minus x plus 1. And then we have our plus 8 that was already there. Then we combine like terms. We have x squared minus 2x plus 9. And we have converted to standard form now. All right, now to convert from vertex form to standard form, we would do the exact same thing here. So we're going to allow you a chance to do it. So if you see, we have the number out front this time, but we still have x plus 3 times x plus 3 on the inside. And we multiply what's inside the brackets first and get x squared plus 3x plus 3x plus 9. Now we're going to distribute the 2. So we have 2x squared plus 6x plus 6x plus 18 minus 5. And then when you combine like terms, 2x squared plus 12x plus 13. All right, now we're not really going to do this a whole lot, but I do want to cover it specifically for how we can find h. So, and when we already have standard form, and now we want to convert to vertex form, you need to identify what your a, b, and c is, just like we did when we did the quadratic formula. And now this h equals negative b over 2a. This is part of the quadratic formula, just the stuff that's everything except for what's under the radical. So, and that's how we can kind of remember it because it's on our formula sheet. So h is negative b over 2a. After we we will plug that in and we'll have our h value. And then we're going to use the table edit function in our calculator to find the k value. And what we're looking for is when we find out the h in the x-axis, in the x value, the y value will be k. So then we look back at the original problem to get our a value and substitute in all the stuff we found into the a parentheses x minus h squared plus k. And again, that is the vertex form of the formula, and it is provided for you. So if we were to do this problem that way, we would first identify our a, b, and c. And then, as you can see, we would take b, plug it in and it'll be negative b value, which is 8, 2 times a, which is 1, and so we would get h is negative 4. And now, if I plug negative 4 into the equation, that's why we say at the table, you could plug it into the equation and get f of negative 4 is equal to, and they just plug negative 4 in for each x value. And so if you put that in your calculator and worked it out, or if you went to your table in your calculator, you would get k is equal to negative 15. And our a value we already have is 1. So now we're just going to plug that in, and we're going to put the 1 where the a was, the 4 where the h was, and the negative 15 where k was. And so we have 1 times x plus 4 to the second power minus 15. All right, on this problem, take a second and do it. identified your A, B, and C. Now, negative B over 2A would be, you end up getting negative 10 over 2, which is equal to negative 5. Now I plug negative 5 in, and I get K is equal to negative 5. My A value stays the same. A is 1. And so there we have x plus 5 squared minus 5. I will pause the video. I'm going through it fast to get to one last thing I want to make sure we cover. All right, now this is a method that we're probably going to use the most, converting from when we're doing from standard to vertex. In your calculator, if you go to polysolve, which we've done before, which is second cosine, and go to option 1, you're going to enter the A, B, and C values as we've done before from your standard form equation. And then you'll press enter, and then solve, enter, and then you want to make sure it's on yes before you press enter again. Then you scroll all the way down to the bottom to see your A, H, and K values. And then once you have that, you just plug that into the vertex form of the equation, and you're done. I'll show you how to use the calculator in class. Thank you.